Hello and welcome to Sheepdog Says. I'm Sheepdog, and goodness me, it has taken me so long to get this video started. It's been 15 minutes of trying to record. There's a man out front of my house at the moment planting that tree that I mentioned weeks ago, just smashing rocks or God knows what with a machine. Every time I'd pause, he'd stop. I'd start back up, he'd start back up. I finally got into the swing of it, was telling a story, and then my wife came upstairs because one of the kids had weed themselves or something, and she's just shouting about poo and wee and cleaning him. I was just like, okay, I need to pause. Come downstairs, the dog's kicking a bowl because I think it turned out there wasn't water in it, to be fair. She drank her water. But I don't when did dogs learn to do that? She's just there kicking her bowl, like, come on, sort it out. And so I had to go sort that out. All I can hear is banging and, I mean, if I don't get it out this attempt, I might give up for the day, and this will be the recording, and I'll just stop there. But no, I was going to talk about birthdays. The sound effects today are ridiculous. Birthdays. I mentioned yesterday, that next week we are going a free comic book day at the local shop. It's the same day as one of my daughter's friends. It occurred to me after recording that having two kids with a class of over 30 kids in them, we're guaranteed that there's probably going to be a birthday party pretty much every weekend. We're about to have, my third kid will go to school in sort of 4 and a bit years. And that'll mean that we'll have a potential 90 birthdays across 52 weeks. Now, I know they're not going to be invited to everything. They're not that popular. But at least every other week at least is going to be a party, if not every week at this point. Now, I never had this as a kid, which suggests 3 things. I wasn't very popular. I only had a very small circle of friends at school, which is unsurprising. But all my friends had birthdays in July, August, and that sort of period. We were always on holiday, it seemed, at the same time. I guess like my dad would probably get shut down or just time off from fall or whatever, and he'd end up having that week off. So I never really went to birthday parties, and if I did, I don't really remember many of them, and it's probably just a quick 2-hour thing in a hall or whatever. I was a monster as a kid. I've already mentioned before that my parents would say to me, do you want a party? Do you want to go to a theme park? Do you want to go have an adventure? And I'd always want to just go and spend money at Toys R Us. I'd want to just go buy toys, get like a stupid left-handed joystick for my Master System that I never used and stuff like that. So we never really did anything particularly. I remember one year as a kid, we had a party at McDonald's. It must have been my 5th or 6th birthday. And my mum and dad were told that Ronald McDonald would be there. They hadn't booked him because it wasn't something you did, but they were told that he was going to be there. So I said to everyone, Ronald McDonald is going to be at my birthday. This is going to be great. I preferred the big purple thing. What's his name? Grumble or something. So in my head, actually, I was more hoping that he'd be there because I thought he was a cool Grampus, I think his name might have been. I might be wrong, I can't remember. But I thought he'd be there, and I was excited about meeting him and finding out what the hell he was, because I still don't know what he was, just a big purple blob. But the day before my birthday, it got canned. They were just like, no, he's not coming, sorry. So I felt like a prize idiot. I don't even remember playing when I was there. I must have done. I don't remember it that vividly. But in my head, I was probably a bit naughty and a bit overexcited. And then I ended up just sitting around eating one of it. Because I was a very slow eater as well. I used to be on the slow eaters table at school. Which again is hilarious because now I'm the quickest eater in the world. When we were out for our meal at Nuneaton the other day, I ate my full roast before anyone else had even started theirs. And I was just sat there looking at everyone else eating thinking, damn. But I used to be a very slow eater, so I think of the hour and a half party that we were there, I think I was eating for about an hour and 20 minutes of it. And it wasn't supposed to be about my eating, it was supposed to be about parties and birthdays. I always say I had a curse growing up. The curse was always that I would end up crying on my birthday at some point or another. I'm pretty sure that curse still went on till my mid-teens at least. Not because I'd always get emotional. I think something would always just happen, or I'd have an argument, or something would annoy me. I used to get very frustrated for some reason or another. I think it's because I'd be determined that this year I'd have a good birthday, and then I'd always ruin it somehow. I remember being in Cornwall one year, my parents had bought me a massive super soaker gun with 2 massive barrels on it, and I remember I couldn't get it undone to fill it up, so I asked my mum to help me do it. And once she finished filling it, her and my cousins just attacked me point blank, just shot me to pieces. And I remember just crying in this field, upset that I'd been shot. And then rather than just accepting it was in good jest, filling it up and getting my revenge, I just skulked off and went to bed and sulked until we went out for dinner that night. And then again, because I'd been so moody and so naughty, I ended up just being naughty all night and not really having a good day at all. And I remember that one quite vividly because I know full well that if I'd have just laughed it off, it'd have been great. But because I got so furious at being squirted, I never really used that gun ever again. We used it maybe a bit when I was like 12 or something, but it was so far gone. It seemed like a sad state of affairs because that was quite a good super soaker. They were massive. I think like the curse went pretty guaranteed went every year throughout like the first maybe 12 years at least. I'm sure it would have done because it was a genuine thing that happened every year. I don't really remember it happening much growing up as a teenager, except I remember like my sister just goading me like, "Are you gonna cry on your birthday?" and then getting so het up over the course of a day that I think she broke me down. Not like a monster. I'm not sat here saying you're a monster, but just, you know, whatever again annoyed me at the time. That's probably what did it. But I definitely remember it must have been 18 or 19. I can't remember which of the two. And I had my own flat. And we used to go to this club called the Fat Surfer in Grays every week. It was amazing because there were bands on music, rock music. It was good. Drink was cheap. It was good. I tried to book an equivalent of that in London called something like the Bull Lounge or something like that. The website looked amazing. It looked massive. They claimed to have live music on there from time to time. They didn't know what bands would be on that night. They claimed to have decent rock music and all this. It looked like it'd be really cool. We'd have a night out in London. It'd be great. Got everyone to come. We got a taxi into London. We're all excited to be there. When we arrived, we paid and went and sat down some steps into this room. And we were all just like, is this it? Does it open out anywhere else? And they're like, no, this is it. And honest to God, it was the size of a living room. You couldn't have swung a cat in there, let alone put a live band in there. And they were like, we'll get you some drinks. You know, what would you like? And all this. And we were like, well, if this is the room, we don't really want to be here. Like, we're not just going to sit on sofas and have a chat and then go. And I think the idea was probably you go there, you sit around for a bit, you, I don't know, drink, probably drugs or whatever, and then you go on to a later night party. But this had been my plan for the evening. You know, I was like, this is what is going to be awesome. And it was such a train wreck. So we tried to rearrange. And I think we found a club in Leicester Square that didn't have a queue or would let us in or whatever. And when we got inside, it was the ratio was something like 50 men for every woman in there. And this was like a group of single 18 to 19-year-old males all expecting to have a good time. And absolutely no chance of that happening because it was just overrun with people. All men as well. So we ended up just skulking off and getting a taxi home, which again was just tragic and completely pointless. And by the time we got back, I think everyone was just worn out and a bit jaded by the fact I'd dragged them all the way from Grays to London, which was a fair old journey as well. Like, it'd have been at least 45 minutes to an hour, I'm sure. But none of this was what made me cry. This sounds like a tangent leading to me having a breakdown, but which it kind of is, I suppose. But what happened was we got back, we're getting ready for bed and everything. I think I was feeling a bit embarrassed, feeling a bit jaded, and one of my friends needed the toilet. And I said, hang on a minute, there's no loo roll in there. I'll nip downstairs and get some because I worked in like the flat. I ran the building. I knew where I could source all that sort of stuff for nothing. And my friend was like, it's all right, I'll give him a newspaper. And I said, no, don't do that. You'll break the pipes. I'll get some toilet roll. It'll take me a second. Just wait. And while I was trying to get my keys, I see him just pass like a copy of the Sun or something like that under the door because my mate used to like, you know, bringing copies of that around all the time. And I remember just being really annoyed and shouting at my mate, and he shouted back. And we're the loudest people we know. And he's like this giant, muscular, strong guy, loudest man in the world. And I'm like me, you know, I'm still pathetic, but I'm very, very, very loud when I want to be. And we're coming together like two continents, like clashing. Just the noise must have been unbelievable. My neighbours must have wondered what the hell was going on. And we're just shouting and getting angrier and angrier to the point where I think I just screamed some obscenity at him. And then I put my foot through the door of my bedroom in anger. And then I just went into my room and I was just going nuts. And I remember just thinking to myself, damn you, birthday curse. Like, you got me again. You know, I thought I was clear, but you've got me, damn it. And I think from that point, I've not really done anything. I've not really arranged many things since because I just don't see the point. I'm just like, the curse always gets me. It never lives up to hype because the curse gets me. I think we did paintball one year and it just didn't go to plan. The curse got me then. I don't remember crying, but I probably did. I was younger, so it probably covers that line. But as an adult, I've tried to just keep it completely low-key. I either don't do anything, because that way it can't be disappointed, it's all good. I remember waiting one year for the man to come to fix our shower, and that seemed a little bit sad. There was no tears, but I think that's probably the most depressing one. I booked the day off so that we could come and have our shower refitted while my wife went to work, and then when she got home, we got a takeaway. The best year I've had since having kids was taking my daughter to Peppa Pig World. Lamb Pup and I and my wife went to Peppa Pig World, and she went on all the rides. And I can safely say I'm pretty sure there were mild tears of joy there, because I remember the feeling of her seeing Susie Sheep, and just saying like, Susie Sheep, you know, I want to meet her, like, where's Pepper? And running off. And I remember just being overwhelmed with, like, this is what I needed, this is what I missed. Having kids definitely fixed the whole birthday curse and made it a good tier thing. I've pretty much done nothing since, though. I sat there feeling guilty, thinking I can't remember what I did this year for my birthday. I genuinely can't remember. We must have just gone for a meal and saw a film or something, because that tends to be what we end up doing now. It's my wedding anniversary in 2 days' time, and we went and saw Infinity War the other day, and I imagine we'll have a takeaway or something. We better have a takeaway. But no, I'm terrible with this now. So it's handy, actually, that my kids will never have that curse, because my son's birthday's on Halloween, so there's always going to be a Halloween party on. My daughter's birthday's on New Year's Day, so there's always going to be a New Year's Eve party on the night before. The baby's birthday's bank holiday weekend, so if I just encourage him to go to festivals every single year, then he's sorted. So it's just me and my wife. We have boring birthdays, just always middle of the week. Like, obviously it changes every day. It's a day, but it's always just some boring. There's no bank holidays, nothing around ours. So I'm hoping the curse will not live on. But I am dreading the fact, as I mentioned before, that essentially, I think this weekend just gone, there were no parties on, but I ended up doing stuff with Kev. End of the month, it's Comic-Con, so I think we're all right. But I think every other weekend that I can think of from the foreseeable future, their diaries are full. So my diary's wrecked. It's a nightmare. Don't have loads of kids, because you'll never get another free weekend for as long as you live. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm hoping my voice will be back tomorrow. I can't believe it's still gone. I shouted a lot on Saturday, but I thought it'd be back by now, and it's been really croaky. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up, as I say, and stop talking. I think I've got enough time for the football. It's like an hour and a bit. I can't believe I got through it without any noises. I imagine I'm in the doghouse, because I was going mad trying to find somewhere that wasn't noisy. But yeah, thanks for watching. Give me a subscribe up here, and follow the other videos. Give a comment below. And thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.